Okay. You see this place. It was not large enough to bring the beetle into this semi-naturally occurring cave into the roots and rock through here. And it's just dark inside. What's the plan?
Let's go in. I'll go first.
I'm guessing I'll go second.
Works for me.
Mm-hmm.
You walk your way in, and clearly this was a lived-in place. It being a little bit of a scientific outpost meant there were multiple. What's the opposite of an architect? Archaeologists here.
That is not the opposite
Yeah,
of
it
an
is.
architect.
Yeah, it is. Architects
a
build it.
demolitionist.
Archaeologists learn it.
Demolitionist is the opposite of an
And
architect.
learning is the opposite of building. That's
Okay,
what I
so you're
always
looking
believe.
at what's the opposite of designing a building? Planning to destroy it.
Realistically, yes, but that's
Which is
how I.
still-
But I said that out loud, and I got to the answer that I wanted. So who's the idiot here? You.
I don't know about that one.
There's clearly been archaeologists here, and there's the occasional left lantern, the occasional little table and things, bedrolls, bags that weren't brought away. The tunnel soon opens up into what is clearly a workshop. There are multiple tables that have gear and things on, scribing tables, scrolls of good quality paper, things like that, and a figure who quite quickly turns away from the lot of you in the back of the room, kind of sitting by a door. The tables are all very low, so you can kind of like sit and work on them on the ground. This figure is entirely clad in dark cloaks. Not very much is visible of them, but does reach for a sword, and the very edge of the sword starts to glow with the same sickly green, almost bubbling light that you saw from Rofi's hand only moments ago. And you hear a voice say that I'm not interested in guests. Whoever led you here, you can tell them that I am dead.
Hello. Is that you?
Tanuma?
You see a flash, a kind of yellowish flash under the hood, and her visibly kind of flinch in pain, and kind of tilts her head. Some of what's left of her, I suppose. And kind of turns, stares. Well, I'm not the one you're looking for.
Huh. What?
What does that mean?
Which one are you?
Which number?
She stands up, takes off the hood, and this is Tanuma. Actually, no goggles or anything. There's a very vicious scar that goes all the way, kind of like a triangle down, and this flesh is just destroyed on her face. And kind of a few moments after doing that, you actually see little sparks of electricity that kind of flicker and move through the scar that clearly causes her some pain. It's actually made both eyes kind of be a bit more bloodshot and bruised, and she's clearly far more injured in other ways than this as well. She pulls down a glove and shows the number 1 in Elven tattooed on the hand, and you also notice a few other things, like an IV running from this wrist to a glass container on wheels that seems to be filled with most likely the green liquid inside is healing potions.
I'd like to make a medicine check just to assess how
Yeah.
exactly badly injured she is.
Oh.
She should probably be dead. The wounds on her face are indicative of being struck by lightning, or someone who could wield lightning. You can see from the way she's standing that she suffered very, very bad internal injuries from her whole body being crushed, and also several very, very hard attacks from something like an axe. It must be some kind of magic that has lingered within her, and there's always a theory, especially when it comes to magical wounds, that scars linger with the emotional trauma as well as the physical. She's smart enough to know that this needs constant healing, but clearly there was not healing quick enough to deal with the deep, deep wound. It's one of the reasons why healing potions are so important for adventurers, because healing potions don't do much if the wound starts to fester or starts to heal naturally. And that seems to be part of the problem for her. Those healing potions are probably more to deal with the pain than to actually fix anything at this point.
There appear to be like rotted flesh that would
Not
really benefit
rotten.
from being cut away.
No,
No
from a
infections.
glance, because of course you can only really see her face and her arm.
Yeah.
They've already done the best they can.
Okay. So nothing more I could do in theory.
Probably not. She says, I regret to inform you that number 5 is dead. You won't be finding her to have her answer your questions. And I don't know where the other 2 are. For the first time since their conception, we have all split ways. Different interests, different desires, different wills. You get the picture.
Do you not share knowledge?
It's complicated. Each of my clones were born with my intellect, my genius, aside from number 4. But what we learn separate and teach amongst ourselves. Number 5 was specialized in your... She motions to where Turum would have been, like behind Yuna, and then like draws the hand in. And I understand why you go to such lengths to find her, if your companion has already fallen in some battle, right? Fighting the devil in gold, they call it, I imagine.
Well, number 5 learned the material, so you can too.
I have no interest in learning the ways of Duros now. I'm sure I could, and maybe I will in some centuries, but you don't want to wait that long, do you?
Fools. Who is this devil?
I believe number 5 went to you concerned with our death. It was a risk. There is a devil in gold from the surface, an avatar of the sun gods that some priestesses would say cursed us aeons ago, and by trying to slay Ivrith and doomed us. Come now to finish the job. That's it's true. All of it. We were burned by its light. I don't think evolving will help with that. There's only some things that can help with
I'm
that.
gonna examine the magical potion dispenser
Yeah.
to see how mobile it is.
It's like one of those IV stands. It'll like wheel along if you're moving slowly and conscious of it.
Oh, good. I'm gonna grab it.
You walk up to grab it, she is going to draw the blade and go to attack you, so I think this is a freaking initiative
Alright.
roll.
Oh,
You are
wait,
not
no,
getting that close.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Should I wait for a map?
No. Not got one. So just roll away. I actually cleared initiative order last time, so I can do this. I just got to set it up, put you over here, Scooch it up.
Oh.
You probably are gonna get in faster than her. Yeah, she's not particularly fast. So you actually can, because Rofi probably wouldn't have necessarily seen this coming. Get up behind her, and what do you want to do? Pluck up the...
Oh, well, if I see her drawing her sword, I'm just going to put my hand right on the tube, and I'll just say, no, no, no. Put that away.
She still has the sword out. It was, like, on the table, and she still has it, like, on her hand. But she doesn't, like, lift it. She kind of just has her hand on the hilt. And she says, despite what friendliness part of me might have had for you, I have no hesitation that I could and would kill you if you serve a threat to me.
I don't think you're much of a threat to anybody right now, to be honest.
Oh, there's
How
a
are
saying
you
on the
alive?
surface, something
I
about a
don't really
woman
care about
scorned.
the surface. I don't really understand why you do.
Yuna, may I ask some questions?
Yes, I think that would be lovely.
Tanuma the First. Is that an appropriate way to address you?
If it suits you well.
My name is Rakath. That's what
Yes,
we call.
I know who you are.
Then you know what I do. I'm not going to do that to you. You've seen enough of that. How did you see that? Who did this to you?
It was the last sun elf and his companions, a shapeshifter, a ruby-eyed woman, a human, and a
Human?
shadow mage of some kind. Yes, a human, although the human did very little to actually defeat us,
Well,
as a human would not have the power to do so.
of course. Well, yes.
But despite all 5 of us, and the unison of such genius intellect, we were quite defeated.
But not dead.
I, number 2, and number 4 survived, and we took separate paths.
Number 2 and number 4. Number 4 is the one you said is dumb as a stump.
I'm not quite a stump.
Sorry. That's a phrase I heard from a gnome that I tortured a while back.
Number 4 is foolish and headstrong and willful and dreams, which can lead to great genius and great invention.
Indeed.
Are you in a lot of pain?
Pain
The answer
barely
is yes.
barely describes the term. There's
Most
the
of it, I
lightning
imagine, is
spikes through the wound again. It's
That
very
that
literal.
I assume the Ross frame that you left back in Narashiro, it is quite safe as far as we know still. If we learn how to put a soul in the Dross frame, you might be able to extend your life in a much less painful way.
What is it that number 5 said? Evolution. That's smart. That's negotiation, Univara. But we haven't mastered the magic.
I only negotiate with equals.
There's not even like a smirk or anything like that.
Well, I mean, we would have to get the information, obviously, but we know where we might be get that. The Deep Spine Tower, which I assume you probably knew.
Yes.
Well, if we were to maybe help you acquire this information, would you be able to help us put the soul back in their friend?
Potentially, although for the foreseeable future I am to remain dead, my intellect can serve great purpose and assist you with that. Unfortunately, all the research that we did privately burnt, so the only knowledge that you will have will be within Deep Spine Tower and the master who runs it.
You'll see Rofi like visibly just oh, so that's sort of like that not like look of like it's that disappointment of the kid not getting his toy, just like oh the research gone, just, oh. But
I wonder how you survived. Regale us with the story of your survival.
You know what? I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts while she tells this to try to pick up on any lies.
Okay.
oh no.
She shrugs her shoulders. Number 4 begged for peace. We were given a chance to surrender. I would have gone down to the last. When someone threatens me, I go down to the last. My others do not see the same way. I suppose they don't. Well, number 2 was already enraptured by them, and I'm afraid that enrapturing has kind of continued on into her life. She's left now to research more on the shadow magic that enthralled her. Number 4 dragged me out of that place. But she sees the path I'm on and wants no part of it. She's soft and not a fighter and ran away from the battle. But didn't do very well. She's not lying, by the way. There's a lot. There's an overbearing anger in this woman. It's like cold, seething anger.
I'm gonna dig deeper. She doesn't have to roll. She's gonna roll a 5.
Okay.
So she knows I'm doing this and I'm seeing all of it.
She just bares her teeth and is quiet and will actually walk a little bit away from you around the table.
She can only so far.
Are you still holding onto the thing?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yeah, well, she's going to
Absolutely.
move seemingly as far as she can.
I'm gonna tell Rakath that she is telling the truth that they surrendered.
I know.
She has this. It's revenge lust, I suppose. Her thoughts are on war and death and causing the pain that she feels, you know.
I'll kind of just reiterate all those feelings back to Rakath.
She just smiles and kind of traces her fingers on one of the papers on the table.
This sword of yours on the table here. You believe you could use it to inflict the wounds that you have?
That is a simple man's revenge. A simple man would see what the world has taken from them and seek to fight the world. I'm not charging into revenge angrily. I am going to do what all geniuses do. I am going to work, and I'm going to make something. And it'll be magnificent, I have no doubt.
Rakath walks over to the table and moves the sword to the side and points instead to the parchment on the table and says,
The sword at your disposal. You think you can inflict the same wounds that you suffered? Worse? You think that you can take the surface with this?
No.
Then what is it you seek?
I don't know yet, which is why I am here, which is why I am dead.
Indeed.
Good ideas take centuries to brew. It took centuries to learn how to clone myself, to gather the right materials. Now tell your friend to stop threatening me. All I feel is pain, and I felt pain before.
I don't care what you feel.
Evidently.
I do.
She
Yuna,
can help
please
us.
stop.
No.
Please.
Nope.
For me.
I will not stop reading her mind, no. I
Not
don't trust
that.
her.
Stop holding on to the IV, please.
Oh no, we're gonna take it with us. She can't
No.
stay here.
She needs to.
Why?
Because if we bring her with us, she dies.
Who cares if she dies?
Well, then she can't fix your friend.
She's not going to fix our friend. She doesn't know how to, and she doesn't want to.
Yuna, there is no reason to bring her with us. There's none.
Well, we could kill her.
I have some respect for some part of this woman. Something that came from her.
I know you do. You always have. And that's why we went on that stupid mission. That's why Torm died.
And I am the one who feels that, Yuna.
Well, then fucking make up for it.
Rakath's gonna grab the sword that's on the table and tuck it away. Turn to Yuna, walk away. Just walk out of the cavern.
Do what you will. I do not seek bloodshed. I do not seek revenge for Torum. He died protecting you.
He died for nothing. He died for a quest that you wanted to go on. For this woman, for no reason.
Not for no reason. For understanding.
Well,
And it wasn't this woman. As we've made abundantly
no,
clear.
it was her creations. By the way, your girlfriend knows you're alive, and so soon will everybody else, and whatever you hope to accomplish with this piece was for nothing. So live out your life. Maybe somebody will hunt you down and kill you. But enjoy what remaining days you have. I won't be the one to end your life.
She doesn't say anything in return to that. She actually sits down quite heavily, with a bit of difficulty, and doesn't say anything at all.
Rofi's literally just like doesn't know what to do. He's like, he didn't know that any of this was as bad as it was, so he's just like, oh god, oh.
I'll kick over the medicine stand and I'll leave.
Okay.
Honestly,
As-
Rofi would probably pick it back up and like put it. Sorry.
As it doesn't break, it does crack and it does leak, but Tanuma the First almost sits in a meditative position. Lightning kind of sparks through the wound again. She just kind of looks a little distant at the ground.
As I guess everyone else is just leaving.
Rakath is hovering, just for what that's worth. But
Sure. I'm gonna go over to her and just kind of like, I guess, kneel down to the point where I'm on eye level with her. Although I know she's looking at the ground, but that's
Well, she'll
okay.
look up at you.
Yeah, and just kind of make eye contact with her, like that kind of eye contact where you're like looking past someone's eyes, and just say to her, "If you ever find the will to fight within yourself once again, in whatever way you deem necessary, come find me."
She smiles a bit of that and will actually like pat your arm, and then kind of just wave you away. And at that point, she starts like fiddling with the IV and kind of pulls the thing closer and starts patching it up.
Rofi just sort of like backs out slowly while the others are like backing in. He doesn't know how to handle any of this.
Yeah, totally. as I'm just gonna walk out of the cavern as well, and as I do, I'll just say to her, "You're not the only one that would see the sun set, never to rise." And leave.
Okay.
Well, that happened. I'll be
Well,
on the
I'm
beat.
gonna make my way out of the city onto the beetle.
Oh yeah, easily. The beetle's like right outside. Yeah.
Oh, if Yuna's going for it, I'm going to go to Raka. We could. It seemed like a reasonable trade. Help her get a new body that works, and she'll help us get your frame back.
Won't take the deal now. It helps Yuna. That's why I wanted Yuna to stop.
Whether Yuna had stopped or not, I don't feel would have made much difference. She is consumed in the flames of vengeance right now.
That makes two.
Well, she will either learn to harness that to her advantage, or it will consume her alive. In either case, she will be of no use to us for some time.
Voss, you
What's her
see
research
that so
on?
readily in her. Do you not see that in Yuna?
Oh, of course I see it in Yuna. She just expresses it in a different way.
Are you not worried?
Of course
You
I'm
met her
worried.
mother.
But there's only so much that can be done.
There is
Ultimately-
more that can be done than what you have done.
Ultimately, that change will come from within herself. Or it will
It
not.
is not the way. Yuna is not like you, Voss. Yuna doesn't seek internal peace. She seeks it externally. She looks for friends. She looks for comfort. She looks for it in friends. She looks for it in you. She considers you a friend, Voss, not just a companion.
I consider her a friend as well. And she knows
Show
this.
it. Show it, then. Give her a hug. Christ's sake. Whoever that might be.
I like how this became Boss's fault.
Literally did nothing.
Just Murphy is very confused about how emotions work right now.
That I also say, she can be coddled as much as we wish.
It
but
is
that
not
is
a
the
coddling.
upgrade.
Voss. It is an affirmation that everything is okay, that everything will be okay. To hug is not to coddle. Coddling is to assume that there will be no more pain and to try and give someone that impression. But to affirm them and say the pain is understandable, that you share it, and that you are there for them within it. That is not coddling, that is support. And it is what friends do.
Well, then I will leave motions of such things in your hands, and I will express as best I can my friendship for Yuna.
Please do.
However, friendship is not exactly something that we typically meditate on.
Start. I'll walk over to the beetle. Give Scritches some scritches. Climb on top.
Let's get the frick out of here.
All
I
right.
agree.
Can turn the beetle around and start lumbering off.
Well, very awkward ride.
Yeah. Anything any of y'all want to do on the ride down?
One of those silent car trips where everyone's just the entire way.
Yuna, would you like to play some Trader's Run with me?
No.
Would you like to speak with me?
No.
Would you like a hug?
No.
What about from Voss?
No.
Would you like some fungus that I found on the wall? It's very tasty.
No.
Would
And
you
this
like
continues
some head
the whole way, I imagine. You go out through the refugee camp of Darklings. You go down the winding road down to the bottom of the roots. Do you stay again at Inota Laguta's, or do you just work your way back to Narashiro?
That is other folks' call.
Yeah, I don't think
Or
I
are
made
we heading to someone
moment.
else?
As we kind of get close and start to pass by, I'll look to Yuna and just say, would you care for a bed to rest on tonight?
No.
Very well. And then I just keep going.
I said nothing but no for the last 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So you can
Very
start a long, winding journey back to the city. Where, yeah, the dark, foreboding, and claustrophobic tunnels on the way to the city don't seem so bad when you have a pouty, angry, tantrumy wizard.
Yeah, honestly, this is great. This is the first time we've had peace and quiet for like a while.
Rofi is probably using this to his advantage and just doing things on his backpack bench thing. Very awkwardly, just looking over and seeing what's happening every now and then. Okay.
It's not to see that there's not monsters like that train, but it sounded like a train. I don't know, maybe it
I
wasn't.
think it was, yeah.
But you're never bothered. You feel eyes on you. You kind of see things moving in the distance. But a giant beetle with that, people on it, too big of a target for most creatures to just start picking off on. And so after a very long journey, you make it back to the city. William. How old are you, William?
I don't know.
I know it was you. It was in your color. Mr. Graham over there just drew a penis on the map. Apologize to the fine people you're disappointing.
Absolutely not.
Wasn't even a good penis.
Wait, what?
Well,
Hang on a second.
First of all, that's not even the correct color. Whoever decided to try and fake that just really fucked up.
Well, you know what? If you're not gonna play nice, you're not allowed anything.
No.
Oh, I didn't even draw anything on the map.
You missed your chance. But after quite a bit of it's a long, quiet journey back. You make it back to Narashiro. You see the light of the fungal forest in all of its bright and majestic colors that kind of bleed into each other. You see you start your way on the sort of twisting, winding roads that kind of wrap around the city walls. Scritch is going up them quite happily. Probably having to stable off Scritches because he can't really make it through the city to your building until you pay for the infrastructure to be upgraded so that you can have an on-site stables. And I assume go back home. Yes? No? What are you doing?
Yeah, home.
I'm gonna see if I can go and track down the girlfriend.
There she is. She's going.
There she goes!
She cast Lamborghini.
Past Lamborghini.
Investigation.
No, you know where she lives.
Okay. I'm going to go find her.
Okay. You go off to where she
On my
lives.
own.
You go off to her house. Now, he says he's on his own. Does anyone tail him? Gotta ask. You go off, you knock, and after a bit of time she does answer. You found it quite strange knocking for elves. Rakaf, it sometimes takes, 10 minutes to an hour for them to answer. Not quite that bad. She looks a lot better. Probably the weight of that sorrow she felt will live with her forever. But she looks better. And she will kind of narrow her eyes at you and say, I don't believe I know who you are.
No, you don't. And we're going to keep it that way. We don't need names. We don't need to discuss anything personal. Just a simple note. The information that was provided to you, has it gone anywhere else? And you know exactly what I speak of.
I know what you speak of, and right now I will find solace in the information itself. I'll tell you, if the courier service want to be a little bit more casual about it, they should hire someone who looks a little more casual.
What I am asking is, have you told anybody?
I understand the weight of what I am doing, no matter who you are. And I think it's time for you to leave. Good day, sir.
I'm gonna put my foot in the door. My big old lucky foot.
Yeah.
And step in and close the door behind me.
If you're trying to gather some sort of information from me, I guarantee that I will not tell you anything.
I have the information already. I'm not seeking any additional. Can I make you some tea?
No, I don't want any tea.
Well, then please have a seat.
Apparently the message that you have been sent to send is a little longer than you first thought. What, are you... I don't know why you're here.
I am here to make sure that you do not spill any information.
I understand my place in things. Any goddess-fearing usurper would.
Yes. You see, any goddess-fearing usurper might be willing to give information for the right price as well.
I have money.
It's not about money, is it? What is your price? And I'm not asking for me, I'm asking to make sure that no one can get that price to you at any point in time.
She kind of sits there. She wraps her hands on her knee. She says, I think it is time for you to leave before I have to call someone.
You will not have a chance.
I'm going to pull out the blade that I took from Tanuma the First, and I'm going to show it to her. And I'm going to say, do you
Recognize this?
I recognize the handiwork.
Yes.
I'm going to put it back away. Very clearly not threatening with it at all. I'm just saying.
Injured, broken, but alive.
That is what I feared,
Only
but was...
3.
Even having this conversation right now is increasing the danger to both her, me, and you, whoever you are. So I would appreciate it if you would leave by my request, even if it is my third request. And do not assume that I am not thankful for you coming to clearly give me this message.
I am going to leave, but first things first. The danger to her is more than you thought. She surrendered. That's how she's alive.
That is not a surprise, and that means that the Daimao would not consider it a surprise themselves if they found out, which is why she is dead.
Yes. What out has been confirmed. So you have a choice. Do you serve the Daimao?
I serve children's entertainment.
That's what I like to hear.
Rakath's going to get up and step to the door. Before he does, he's going to turn back and he's going to say,
Be sure that you only entertain children with your stories. Or, alternatively, do you have a second one of those rainbow costumes?
No, and I need that back, actually. I'm planning on continuing my performance, and that is the only version of the mask that we have, and you're with the girl who stole it.
No. I'm not with anybody. I'm a freelancer, as it were. Hired for various things, but I do recognize you, you see. I was just hoping that you might have a spare costume, that's all. Someone stole your head.
Technically, I gave it to them, but I want to recant my generosity.
Well, if you hire me to go and give a message to them, I'm absolutely happy to go and
Yes,
send
if you
that.
would give that message, which I'm sure you're able to do.
Yes, that is what I freelance in. My regular rates are 5 gold. Now, I understand that might be a little steep for this, so 2 gold would be appropriate, I think, for this. And especially since I've taken up so much of your time already.
She will hand you 3 gold and will say, please freelance somewhere else.
Ah. Have a nice day.
I'm going to close the door harder than it's supposed to.
Oh, absolutely. You
Yeah.
do that a lot.
Yeah. Mostly accidentally. This time, purposefully.
I love that
I'm gonna go
Rakath
back
very
and-
home. Can I make you some tea?
He's polite. He's polite.
You know. I'm going to go back and go back home. And
So I imagine everyone else went back to the house first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where my Yuna at?
I am going to throw myself into my work, the thing that I was doing before, which Ollie knows about.
Yeah. Tinkerings.
Yes.
I am going to be studying the what I assume is a Duros frame that was made by Tanuma 5, specifically looking on the inside for those runes that I saw magically on the other one.
As you saw before, there is nothing like that.
Okay.
But this really cements what she said in that, yeah, this is a functioning body. The actual technology to bind a soul to it, to make it work, is not in it. It's not designed to be an automaton or anything. That would be different.
Well, then I'd just be spending my time to learn everything I can about this body, so I know it as well as like she would, sort of thing.
So, time has passed. Have we grown any more health potions?
Yes, you would have grown 3, because you grow them slower than if you had a regular garden, because you don't have.
I'm gonna sell the 3 that we already have on hand, so I can finish my project.
That's good. That's fair.
At some stage, Rofi would actually come up and start knocking on your door frantically.
I do not answer.
That's when Rakath comes back in.
Ah, yes, little one, hello. Is
Hi,
Yuna?
I think so. Puts ear to the door. Can I hear any movement or anything?
Gunk, 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 gunk.
There's an elf inside,
Ow.
so no. But you can hear a goblin skittering around.
I hear the thumping and give it ow.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Yuna.
You hear
Navara Devescos.
Jericho's door
It's her loyal, amazing, wonderful self. Please answer the door.
Jariko opens a door and says, "She's not opening the door. Shut up."
We need to bring that head back.
We haven't had you castrated yet because we haven't found the parts, but I will find someone to do it if you continue making this racket.
Draco, I've already dealt with that. Don't worry about it.
Didn't even have to ask that strange.
I'm
open the
trying
door.
to learn more about the Duros so I can learn how to maybe help fix the Torum, was it?
Jariko closes his door as Eunice opens.
I open the door. Can you guys go? I'm busy.
I need the head.
Oh, this head. And you look, it's painted black.
Oh no.
Thank
Oh well,
I-
3 gold for me.
I would like to see the Torum's body. I need to look at the differences between it and the one that is downstairs. May I
It's right there. No
I would-
gesture to it.
pick it up? Oh, I imagine he would try pick up as much as he can, but it's like he's 4
Like-
foot, and then just the rest would be a little bit dragging. He's like trying to be careful.
Yuna, I think you and I need to have a talk.
Well, you're welcome to speak. Apparently I can't stop you from it, so...
I mean, I hear there are spells that you could, in theory, stop me from speaking with if you wanted to invest that time and effort.
I have more pressing things going on at the moment.
Well, I'm flattered to know that I'm not that pressing. So... You blame me, do you, for Torum? You wouldn't be alone in that. I do as well.
Good. That's all I have to say?
No. I consider you a friend, Yuna. I don't have many of those. I don't want to lose one. How can I make it up to you?
I don't want to talk about this right now.
Yes, I know, but we need to.
Maybe in 20 years.
I might not live that long.
Huh? Well,
Yuna, please. I'm not asking for you to forgive me.
then what do you want?
I want to know what it will take to get there.
Honestly, time, but you don't have a lot of it.
No, I don't. So what can I do instead?
You can find the unborn clone and squash it.
That's a very confusing sentence. What is an unborn clone? Isn't that just an ethereal being of non-existence? I feel like you're asking me to squash nothing. I'm really... And whose clone? What are you talking about?
He wasn't there when we
Honestly.
learned all this.
Oh, you were there.
No.
He wasn't.
What are you talking about, an unborn clone?
Well, there's the 3 existing clones, and then there's the 1 clone that hasn't been born yet.
I wonder if that's Tanuma the First's project.
I don't know. Maybe we can check out the middle basement area where she keeps all of her shit.
Yes, well, I think we should.
Great. Good talk.
Question for you. Honest question for you. Can you feel him in the gem? Is he there?
Honestly, I haven't tried to. Because I'm very worried.
Rakath nods and he's visibly, like, you can see this is the first time you would have ever seen his hands shake, but they're shaking.
Would you like to? And without waiting for a response, I will cast Investor, and I will give you sense emotions.
Yeah,
and you can choose whether or not to activate it.
I think with it already invested, he would absolutely. Sense emotions for Torum's soul.
When you look into the soul gem, it's not like you see emotions and the gem glows softly red. Torum had emotions, but they were quite minimal. But you do feel inside a creature that is lost and confused and unable to act upon it.
I can't even release him without killing him entirely.
He's there. Just as confused as always.
Sorry, I keep reading chat and it's cracking me up.
It's a very drow reaction to laugh at tragedy.
Yes. Iuna, I have been studying. You remember when he was disabled for a time? The void magics got inside of his armor.
Mm-hmm.
I have been studying the void more in depth
Okay.
to try and understand it better, to try and solve that problem, so that Thorum would have never been affected by it again. I think you might do better with it than me. But I still have some void goop downstairs, if you'd like it for research purposes. It's not much, but maybe it's a start. And then you can tell me about this unborn clone that confuses me very much. Maybe we can deal with that. I don't have any attachment to an unborn clone.
If you have no attachment to unborn clone, why are you attaching to this one that you haven't even met before?
It's the face. You see
They're all gonna have the same face!
I don't know about you as a baby, but I don't think that you were
You
necessarily...
know it's gonna be a baby!
Why wouldn't it be?
They're all the same age.
So?
She didn't make them when she was a baby.
Are you sure?
I'm mostly sure.
She seems to think she's quite the genius. There must be some reason for that. I imagine if she made clones of herself as a baby, that would qualify her as a genius.
She wouldn't have died, would she?
Well, let's be realistic. If she was really a genius, she wouldn't have made only 5 clones of herself.
6?
But genius is arrogant. I just happen to like one part of that arrogance. And if I'm being completely honest, killing her was needless. I try not to end lives as often as I can. That's part of the reason why I know exactly how to hurt
It
people.
would have made me feel better.
But only for a little while.
Oh, you don't know that.
There is a deeper seated issue here.
Yeah, there's more of them.
No.
4
not
more of them.
that. Well, no, because the other 2 of them are already dead. So there's 2 more of them, plus 1 unborn one, as you've now explained to me. So that makes 3 others.
3 more of them.
But regardless, that's not the issue. the issue here is that you... Yuna, please don't take this the wrong way. You feel an attachment because you are empathetic. And I know that that is not something that Drow value very much, but you are empathetic. And it is a value that I appreciate in you. It is part of the reason why I like who you are, Yuna. And this empathy means that you feel more pain than other when you have friends. When you have people that you care about, like Torum. Torum was never a machine. He was a friend to you always. That attachment and that empathy is not a problem. But you need to understand that when you feel it and you feel that pain, you cannot let it control you. You cannot let it bring you to anger. Or you'll end up shouting degeneracy at people like Voss does. And you know that's not healthy. You see how much emotion he has pent up.
Not very much, to be honest. I can see that.
Yes. I think he's good at allowing it to appear different. It's hatred in him, though. Which I guess is more instinct for him than emotion. I just don't want you to be angry. Not at me, it doesn't matter about me. I know who I am and what I am. I'm used to being hated. That's not a problem. I will bear that if necessary. But anger at the world and everything in it. That's not you, Yuna. I've never seen someone so delighted by flashing lights, by a soul glinting just right. You are someone with a curious mind, and I appreciate that about you. And your curiosity is being overridden right now by your anger. How can I help with that?
You can go downstairs, and you can look through whatever that woman left, and see what you find.
I will do that. If it makes you feel better, I'll stab myself a couple of times too.
No, what make you feel better?
Are you sure? It doesn't bother me.
Sure. You don't feel it.
What if you did it?
No,
We're gonna pull out a
make you feel
dagger.
better.
You sure?
No, I don't want it.
Credits
Okay.
roll! Because that's a perfect place for us to end off today's Learn How to Handle Your Feelings show. We'll see what happens next time. I just don't plan anything, just let the shenanigans roll. But why don't you real quick talk about yourselves real quick, because we're nearly over time. And I want to see you dillying and or dallying, Dungeon Dad.
That's pretty much the only two items on my list here, so I don't really know what to do now. But, yeah, that's me. I have a YouTube channel. It's about D&D and whatnot. Monster of the Week's a show where we take cool old school monsters that are like just a bunch of garbage in terms of stat blocks and convert them to 5th edition so they're actually cool to look at and you can use them. The monster that's coming out this week is 2 monsters and I regret it so much. This week's video is going to be about dragons, specifically sun and moon dragons, which is great, but statting dragons is hard because they like don't follow the rules of any of the other
And
monsters.
also there's 4 of them.
per dragon, yeah.
And
'cause you
lair
have
actions
categories and layer actions and legendary actions.
I've
and,
been there, bro.
yeah.
And then your party died, and you never met one.
Yeah, so we're now at 6 of 8 stat blocks completed, so that'll be done real soon.
It's not bad.
But they're cool. Sun Dragons and Moon Dragons are from Spelljammer originally, and they're gnarly as frick. Particularly Moon Dragons, they're fun. They go through a bunch of phases. They're evil as heck, but literally as the moon eclipses, they turn from white to black and vice versa, and their alignment changes from chaotic evil to lawful evil, and they do all kinds of fun things depending on what phase they're in. Then your good old pals, the Sun Dragons, are just like hanging out, being chaotic good boys. But they're unique to dragons, because ancient Sun Dragons are really tiny, like ancient suns.
Oh.
Their color and
I get
size changes based on their age category. So when they're like first born, they're like bright red and they're like bigger than most hatchlings are. And then they go through all their different life cycle phases. And the ancient ones are really tiny and flat white. And then when they die, they either turn into a sphere of annihilation or a well of many worlds, depending on the percentage that you roll. So that's fun.
Oh no.
Just like a real star. They can also cast Prismatic Ray at will, but we're not going to talk about that. So, anyways, that's it for me. Watch that if you think that sounds even a little interesting. Aaron, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Our own real star, Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. Yeah, no, I'm here on Sundays. I do other small projects which are going to be coming out soonish. And that's about it from here now. Very easy.
Tesh.
Hi, I'm Tesh of the Tesh Tube. You can follow me on that on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And you should follow me if you enjoy D&D, because I do this and another show on twitch.tv/Dalric. And I'm always terrible at the time, but it's 2 days from now. Follow Twitter, because time zones. I'm in Australia. And you should also follow me if you enjoy looter shooters or anything like that, especially with all the looter shooters that are coming out and just September, the hell month of millions of games being released. But yes, you should follow me if you are looking forward to any of those.
And Helium.
Hi, I'm Will. You can find me here on Sundays, and you can find Ollie doing much more cool stuff. So, Ollie, why don't you just tell the people about yourself?
Well, I never turned down an opportunity to talk about myself. If you like this show...
Got it.
If you like this show, then there's another show on Wednesdays. It's this show. It's all connected. If you like this show, check out the other show, and vice versa. Both, because they're both taking place in the same place at the same time. If you like this, you can sponsor Patreon for $5 a month. You can get 2 extra shows. One of which, the Monday game, is a bunch of veterans who I've been playing with for a long time, and they're running an adventuring guild, basically. And the other group is a bunch of nobodies. And I'm streaming Hollow Knight Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays most of the days. And other than that, big stuff going on that you'll see in the future if you are on Twitter, if you are on Discord. But right now, I'm going to be in none of those places. I'm going to be eating.